So Luffy's about to kick Kizaru's ass, right? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 1127 of One Piece. And I think, yeah, as I said in the cold open, I think Kizaru's in trouble because as strong as he is as an emperor, what is he supposed to do against Nika? Gear 5th is so incredibly busted. It's like the only thing Kizaru could really hope to do is to basically wear Luffy out. Because that's his biggest weakness with Gear 5th. If he's worn out, he reverts and becomes, shriveled and old. But otherwise, he's practically invincible. Like, think about it. He went through the barrier multiple times, it said, right? It said he went through the barrier like twice or something. And, like, it clearly didn't do shit to him. When that normally would just completely destroy a person, completely kill them. But his power allows him to basically reshape a reality around him. He can manipulate the people and, like, just physical land and stuff around him to move it in any way he wills it. Whatever basically is, free and fun and enticing to him in a way. He can make it, like, act in whatever way he wants it to. And that's intimidating, if we're being honest. Because you have a character here who is excessively powerful, can do practically whatever he wants, and his only real limit to this power is that it just doesn't last long. But he can practically take on, like, presumably any enemy. And that includes Kizaru. I mean, the fact that he can just, like, effortlessly grab onto Kizaru right now and hold him in his hand, that says enough. So I feel like while Kizaru was completely overpowered for Luffy while Luffy was in Gear 4th, this completely turns that around and makes Luffy so overpowered against Kizaru. This is the power that, let's be honest, is the reason Luffy's an emperor right now. The reason he got promoted to Yonko is because of Gear 5th. That's how powerful it is. And I mean, yeah, he's obviously extremely strong without it. But he's not like Admiral level strong. But with it, he is. With it, he's able to defeat Kaido. With it, he's able to just, like, completely destroy Lucci. And he's able to, like, grab onto Kizaru, which, again, considering he's a Logia type and light specifically, would normally be not really possible. Also, the fact that Luffy's, fucking giant right now. And then we also saw in the last episode at the end, like, the robot is seemingly coming to life. So it's like, okay, what? And it's just like, just shit is going down. Shit is, like, really starting to go down. We have the Vice Admirals already in action. The Seraphim are, due to Sentomaru, like, falling unconscious and everything. The Seraphim are on their side. And, of course, we still have Saturn waiting in the wings. He's absolutely getting involved at some point. Shit is going about as wrong as it can. And I'm very curious and worried how this is going to go down. We still also have Kuma potentially on the way. And just a lot of other shit, like, waiting in the wings to be revealed and to be, like, gone into. There's still the stuff with Bonnie's backstory. There's a lot that they're setting up that has not been actually gone into yet. So I don't know what we're gonna get exactly with this. I don't know what to expect with this specific episode. But if this fight really does continue, it's gonna be one sided as fuck. The only again, I think the only thing that Kizaru can really do is like try to wear him out, because none of his attacks are gonna do shit to Luffy like this. Hell, Luffy would be able to just like bounce the attacks right back at him. We've literally seen him do that with Kaido. So I guess we should just check out the episode and see what we have in store. Let's get into it. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, besides just Luffy versus Kizaru, which is a pretty wild fight, considering both of them can't really do anything to each other, it seems. I thought it was going to be a lot more one-sided. I was wrong. Kizaru's powers go well beyond even what I was expecting. Though, to be fair, I guess that makes sense. I mean, Light can do a lot of shit, so... Yeah, it makes sense. It just... I didn't realize he could clone himself. I don't think he's done that before. But yeah, it's really difficult to deal with him, and... I don't know how Luffy's going to defeat him at this point. But... we see that besides all of that going on, Bonney is running around for some reason. We don't entirely know why. It hasn't quite revealed it, but she's kind of secret agenting herself around the island for some reason. And more importantly, we get confirmation of something in this episode. And I can finally fucking talk about it. This is one of the things I was spoiled on. And they kind of gave a hint to it. I think it was last episode, maybe the episode before. One of the last couple episodes. Where Kizaru, I think it was Kizaru, said to Bonney that it's like, you've grown up a lot recently or something like that. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But it's like, now... Vegapunk very explicitly refers to her as a child. And so I can talk about this. I already knew about this. I didn't know context or whatnot, but it makes sense when you think about it, because Bonnie's power allows her to manipulate the age of herself or anyone else that she comes in contact with. And we've seen her use this power on herself in multiple ways. We've seen her as her adult self. We've seen her as a child. We've seen her as an old woman. We've seen her throughout these different stages in life, right? Well, the first time we see her in this arc, when she's like, trying to get to Luffy and the crew, like through the waves and everything, when she's in the water and in around the water, she appears as a young girl. Her young self, her child self. But if she's in and around the waves, her devil fruit powers would be deactivated, right? Because the sea, like, weakens devil fruit users to the point where they can't use their powers any longer. So Bonney would revert to her natural form. So the fact that she is a child when we first see her in this arc, in and around the water, means that that's her normal form. The childlike Bonney form we see is her real age. The adult form that she mostly takes throughout the series, I assume is probably going to end up being like, oh, she took this form to, I don't know, be taken more seriously, to be able to find her way through things, to get to finding her father and everything. Something akin to that. She stays in that form most of the time, but the child form we see, which we have seen all the way back during her introduction in Shabandi. I think the first time she showed it is when she saved Zoro from the Celestial Dragon. Um, that is her true form. She is a child. And I don't know if it's been obvious. I feel like it has been, but I've been very actively, like, throughout this entire arc, pretty much, not been like. I've very actively not been showing any kind of, like, attraction to her design or anything, like I have for, like, Robin or Nami or Stussy. Um, like with the outfit she has, and there's even been points where I've like been specifically saying like certain things to kind of like not really hint at it, but because I didn't want to see her that way. One example, like at the very beginning of the arc when they first land on Egghead, her, Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei. It shows the part where she's, wringing the water out of her top. She's in her adult form, and she's very topless and everything. Um, I made a statement, I believe, at that point in my reaction, where I was saying something along the lines of, "Put your shirt back on" or something like that, because I was uncomfortable. And there's been like points where like Sanji would ogle over her or whatnot. I'm like saying like calm down and stuff like that. I think just in this very episode and things like that, because I'm very uncomfortable by that fact. And again, he wouldn't know. I'm not even blaming Sanji for that because he would have no idea. But it's because I know it's uncomfortable to me. And there just things like that going on. It's like since I found out, which again I found out because One Piece fans are atrocious with spoilers. I have been very actively like uncomfortable seeing people find her attractive. And like even like watching people's reactions, because I've seen people's reactions since then to like the introduction of all of the worst generation in Shabandi and everything, and seeing just people's reactions to her in general and stuff, not knowing. And even though it's clear they don't know and have no way of knowing, it's made me feel so uncomfortable because she's literally a child. She is literally a child. But from what we know and what we see in the opening and all, this does mean something, that Kuma's transformation and Kuma becoming, more robot than man and everything has happened a lot more recently than we realize. Probably very shortly before the events of Shabandi Archipelago. It, like, that probably happened, like, I would say within, like, a very, very short time, like, within maybe a couple months after he gave himself to science and whatnot, turned himself over to the government and Vegapunk and all of that. So it's going to be interesting to find out, like, the history of all of this and why all of this happened. Why he did all of this in the first place, why he and Vegapunk, like just the history with them and everything, and with Bonney, and all of this backstory has been started to be set up, but we haven't gotten any of it yet. I'm really excited to find out more and to like find out like just how recent all of this was, because I feel like there's a lot with that we're going to be finding out very soon, and it's going to recontextualize a lot. Um, but on top of that, Stella in the current day is now going down to try and save her because he's scared for her because she's a child and she's in danger. And we know he's close to Bonney, so. And yeah, it's just things are definitely escalating. I'm really worried now that Saturn is going to get involved, especially with that how the episode ended, showing him and all. And I think it's about to escalate to a much greater scale, to the point where things are going to get like really crazy. And like scary crazy, I mean. But we also have seen that that things are still just trouble because of the likes of Lucci and Kizaru. And so it's like, even if Saturn doesn't get involved right yet, I mean, he's obviously going to. He's there for a reason. Even if he doesn't just yet, the threat is still very active at the moment. Things are definitely escalating. And on top of that, we still haven't gotten a Frankie Super. They're really, really drawing this out. And I don't know why. I don't know like why they're dragging it out so much. I understand that Kazuki Yao's performance as Frankie was so iconic, and the way he says super is so iconic. But let's be completely honest here. The fact that Frankie has been like just not saying that for so long now is so actively fucking weird. Because I said this before, but during the post time skip, Frankie has been like saying super a lot more often. And he's been actively very like, Frankie, very flamboyant and goofy and over the top. But since this has come back and with his new VA, he's been, let's be honest, more reserved. The only like really excitable moment he's had was when he was talking about Cola briefly to Vegapunk. And that's it. Like, in this episode, we even got him doing the pose, but he didn't say super. It's like they're actively avoiding doing so. And I don't know for sure. I can't say with any certainty. But I'm kind of thinking he might have said it many times by this point in the manga, too. And that they're just avoiding it in the anime because of the voice. They're trying to get us more used to his voice first before giving us that. Which I get. But I feel like it's just the one thing that the only thing I'm focused on with Frankie at this point. Like, I can't really focus on anything else with him until that happens. And it's just because it's become such an integral part of his character. Because of Kazuki Yao's performance, and just because of how often he said it post time skip. Him saying super so goddamn often is part of his character, and so changing that is just so weird. It's not even the voice. Like, I've gotten used to the voice. I'm fine with the voice. That being different isn't the issue. The issue is that they're specifically not letting him say super right now. And it's just, it's so absent, and it feels so absent. I don't know how else to put it. But hopefully we'll get that soon. Hopefully we'll get more just crazy, amazing action and phenomenal animation and stuff. I've just been really loving this. Every episode is fantastic. I'm very excited to see how this continues to go. Obviously, do not spoil me. Just because I know some things ahead of time doesn't mean I know context and doesn't mean I want to know anything more. Please do not, like, say anything about anything that has not been revealed yet. Like, I am specifically trying to be spoiler free. That is how I enjoy watching shows, as spoiler free as possible. I hate that I've already been spoiled on as many things as I have. I wish that things would have been more of a surprise, such as this Bonney reveal. But still, no spoilers, please. That being said, thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.